Attention, little people, I have an announcement.
These commentaries were originally recorded from April to June of 2024. I love the show and people and the focus of the positive, but with all that said, here's what is more. The guests love the show and people too, but are allowed to speak their mind. The critiques they share and opinions they bear are only theirs, not mine.
I think you mean ours?
Well, yeah.
Opinions are kinda like jellyfish. I mean, they're float and change shape a lot. Not all opinions shared banter reflect our true and current thought. These have been re-edited to keep the commentary in sync. I only muted what I wanted to cut so the track can show a link. So if you hear some silence, you'll understand why, folks. And me and Kev apologize for our incessant inside jokes. Lastly, not all commentaries turned out as good as others. Some days it didn't flow as well, but we always recovered.
And if you're not watching the show along with our commentary, you might be confused as to what we're talking about, which is kind of a given. But if you're like a crazy super fan who knows every detail of every episode, have at it. With all of that out of the way,
Enjoy the show!
Welcome back to VeggieTales Fan-Commentaries. I'm Finn.
And I'm eating a Chick-fil-A salad.
Chick-fil-A salad? Well, that's perfect. What better to consume while watching a healthy produce-filled program like VeggieTales?
Cheeseburgers, buddy.
Well, you got me there, but
I
we're
really
not
like the
watching.
cheeseburgers, dude. And the Pop-Tarts, too, dude.
We're not watching the VeggieTales episode called
But
His
Pop-Tarts-
Cheeseburger.
But Pop-Tarts are even freaking yummy, buddy.
Freaking yummy. How freaking yummy?
Like, really freaking yummy, dude.
Oh, shoot. I gotta censor out frickin'. We can't say frickin'.
Oh, hacking flip, buddy.
Hecking
That's
flip.
like not
More
very cool, dude.
freaking editing from me.
Uh-oh.
I didn't mean it. So we're watching God Wants Me to Forgive Them. I'm Finn. I'm here with Kev.
I'm Kev.
He's Kev. And
We're watching this because Finn and I recently had an argument and we're trying to forgive each other.
yeah,
But we're having a hard time.
so we're trying to this is like our our coping, our therapy.
Yeah.
It's like
This is couples therapy.
couples counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Bob and Larry. For the 4 people who took that literally, we did not actually have an argument. But I do still have my cough, even though I've taken like a 5-day break from commentaries. My cough has not gone away. It's actually gotten worse, which is a little disheartening, but that's okay.
Wait, so for the people who took it literally, you clarified that we didn't actually have an argument, but we did. You didn't clarify that we aren't actually a couple. So does that mean we are?
Well, I mean, yes.
I mean,
I feel
yes.
I
Okay,
guess.
yes.
Okay, yes. No, we're just bestest friends in the whole wide world.
In future roommates.
And the whole wide world. yes. we're gonna room together. We're like Bob and Larry.
The other day, I was walking home from my bowling.
We alternate as to who's who.
Do they room together, or do they have separate houses? It's like
In the house, they room together.
yeah, but which one do you consider canon?
I don't think VeggieTales has a canon, to be honest. I'm not sure if it does. I feel like it.
But
it's
I saw
tricky.
cannons. I saw cannons in the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything.
Well, yeah, I guess. But no, like, I feel like if you start deciding what is and isn't canon for yourself, and all these things canonically happened, it's kind of tough, you know? Maybe Bob
True.
and Larry did live together and then moved in together. Or
Yeah.
if you see the Netflix show as a prequel, maybe they did live together and then moved apart. Although the whole prequel show is confusing because
Does Junior age in reverse?
Yeah, I
If
was
in
gonna
the house
say,
is a prequel?
he acts older in the house and sounds older in the house, and also Petunia and Madam and various other characters shouldn't have existed for a long time. I don't know. I think it's just a cartoon, and if I think too much about it, I'll drive myself crazy. Look at those clouds.
Look at them. They're
I've never
very,
very blobby.
yeah.
I've never really stopped to look at the clouds. The trees in Madame Blueberry were definitely an upgrade. They had more detail to them. These still look nice.
I like the look of these, though, yeah.
If you watch
They're
the
fun.
background, like as it's moving by, it's kind of fun to imagine.
Yeah.
the fact that it's probably just like, a model of like a circle and some trees, and they're just like spinning it in a circle almost. That's what I would imagine. I don't know how animation works. I don't know how 3D animation works. I'm not real savvy on that. But it's almost like they have like a
Finn,
driving around the circle and keeping the camera in one spot.
let me tell you how it works. After I'm done swallowing this bite of salad.
I'm waiting. I like the snake. The snake is cute. I like their car ornament. I like how Paul's hat is flopping.
Okay, now shut up! I'm gonna tell you
Okay, tell me.
how computer animation works.
Tell me.
So, you go up to your computer and you say, "Computer, activate!" And it says, "Okay, Kev." And then you say,
Wait. Does it say
computer
Kev?
animation troll. Yes,
Does it say
calls
Kev?
everyone Kev. It calls
So,
everyone Kev.
It would call B Kev?
Yes.
So if I ever want to affirm my wish to be Kev, I can just walk up to a computer and say computer.
Yep.
Okay, proceed.
Yep. So then you summon the demon computer animation troll. And you say, "Demon computer animation troll, computer animate." And then initially it'll like animate very inappropriate things. And then you have to beat it over the head with the frying pan 7 times, not 8, Finn. Do not do it 8 times. You don't want to see what happens.
Is 9 okay?
On Thursdays.
Okay.
Um,
Someone told me it was every other Thursday. Am I mistaken? Or
I
is
don't know
that-
where people get this idea from.
That always
I hear it all the time. No,
Yeah.
it's every Thursday.
Because I was like, if you can't do it one, like what if you lose track,
Right.
If you can't do it on one
Um,
Thursday, why can you
but
do
yeah,
it on the
you-
other?
Right, exactly. It makes no sense. But yeah, beat him over the head 7 times with a frying pan. And he'll say, "Okay, master, I succumb. I succumb." And then he will animate nicely for you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So how do you explain bad animation?
That's when you whack him 6 times.
Okay. Interesting.
Mhm.
Cheese on my head. You got that yellow hat.
Ah, I'm a cheese-headed bean boy.
A few notes I wanted to make. I saw golly.
What?
I saw a few things. While we were talking about the computer. I wanted to note. One was when Tom was smiling as Paul was proclaiming him a man. His smile was basically touching his nose. It was so sideways. And then
Yeah.
Rosie talking when her mouth like engulfs her freckles. It's kind of freaky looking.
Yeah.
What happened next?
And
She ate her own freckles.
I like when the tree jumps in the water. That part's very funny to me.
Mhm.
And Junior's head was flat here. This was the first time we saw him without his hat. And I
A
think-
flat-headed bean boy.
Oh, it was flat a second ago. Wasn't it big and flat a second ago?
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Also, look at Rosie. Look at Rosie's hair in front of the stump.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's clipping.
Because she is,
Okay, what we did.
she's technically standing in front of the stump, and they just shrunk her down to make her look like she's in the back.
He also told them that God wants us to be kind.
Dad Asparagus, average Dad Asparagus win. Look how mad he looks.
Dude, honestly, he looks even better when he's mad.
He does. I like Junior's dimple. I like Rosie's kind of crooked teeth. One of them's kind of crooked. And Paul
Yeah.
getting up in the camera like that.
It's
kind of scary.
Like Ernest P. Worrell. Not Ernest the Bear, Don.
To a different Ernest. Although Ernest is the superior bear. I mean, Ernest. He's the superior
Excuse
Ernest.
me?
You disagree?
Excuse me?
You disagree?
Yes. Yes.
Well, you know what? I also think Texas Bob can go stuff a stocking.
Now, doesn't everyone feel better?
Hey, you listen here, buddy.
It's almost time for
Texas
supper.
Bob back
Come
here
on
once
inside,
again.
Junior.
And nobody will get this inside joke.
But they don't really
But-
need to. Texas Bob can be appreciated even without knowledge of who Texas Bob is.
That's true.
Texas Bob is kind of like a universal thing, you know?
And I
Kids love
am
him. Parents love him.
I do have a music contract signed with Universal Music Group.
I think the reason Texas Bob was so popular back in the day was because he was something that parents and kids
Back
could
in the
enjoy
day.
together. Well,
Back in the
initially,
day.
he's still popular, but initially, when he first started, kids
Right.
and parents could both appreciate him, and there was
By the
something
way-
in there. There was something in there for both kids and parents.
By the way, Mr. Finnegan Rowe,
Yes, Texas Bob.
if I may do some self-promotion on this broadcast,
You may.
I would like to promote my new album, Texas Bob Sings the Greatest Hits. Excuse me. Texas Bob Sings the Greatest Hits of Hanson. And
Okay.
if you don't mind, I would like to sing a little snippet of the upcoming single from that album.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Texas Bob.
This is Bob.
So once again,
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you very much for allowing me to come on your broadcast and promote my music. And may the Lord bless your soul, Mr. Rowe.
Thank you, Texas Bob. You too. God bless.
God bless. Goodbye.
What do you all think about that, Texas Bob?
Oh, I love him so much.
He seems cool. We should get him on a
Yeah.
commentary. Now I almost
We
feel bad
should,
for,
honestly.
for speaking bad about him. I hope he doesn't listen to that part.
Yeah.
If he does, I hope he knows I didn't mean it. So Junior's got like a little stem on his foot.
are you guys really sorry?
He's got like a
Is it?
sprout, a stem.
You see, Junior,
Does it
when we
does it
met,
go out
we
or does it
were
go
not
in?
feeling
Because I always
think
thought
it
it went in.
goes- I think it goes out.
The Bible
Huh.
says,
Also, I like the whole are you serious? I think so. Bob, am I serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry, you're serious.
that's right. And because God
A lot of
loves
really
us,
good writing in these.
we need to
The
forgive
cut back to the
others.
countertop, the lighting is so different. I don't know, something about it
It is, yeah.
feels strange.
Well, Bob,
It looks older somehow.
you know, I'm not sure.
Like older than
Let's ask QWERTY.
the scenes that have Junior.
Hey, QWERTY,
Yeah.
can you help us?
I
Oh.
miss when
We need
QWERTY
to
did
know
stuff
how
like that.
many times we're supposed to forgive
He
people.
was so goofy.
According
He
to
had a
the Bible.
personality.
He was so goofy. Also, I love that angle. Nice angle.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing the kitchen floor.
Matthew 18:22.
2 Bible verses in this episode. Now imagine if Phil had tried to edit this down
Good
without.
boy, QWERTY. Good boy. Bonus verse.
Imagine if Phil had tried to edit this episode without like the Bible verses and like references to God. Like
Yeah.
I'm almost tempted to try to do that just to see.
I mean, they made a class edition for this.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Without the Bible verse in the middle?
Okay, so they recite the verse, but they don't say it's from the Bible.
Do they say Jesus?
Nope.
What do they say?
It's just like I say to you 70 times 7.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
what shows up on the screen. It doesn't have like a verse reference or anything.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Seems kind of specific and pointless without the biblical connotation.
Right.
Now, do you have something to say to the grapes?
Dad made it down that hill in like 2 jumps.
Yeah.
The way Paul Grape keeps getting in the camera, like I said, I don't know what's up with that. Look at that. Why does he keep doing that? It's like he's
Because he's a big boy. He's a big boy. He's a big fan of our boy Ernest P. Worrell.
Or maybe he's
The Grapes of Nice.
maybe he's a big fan of us, so he's trying to get closer.
True.
The grapes
Just like
of
me,
math. The
they
first big
want
obnoxious
to be
pun.
Close to you.
Real. The grapes of math was, according to Phil Vischer, VeggieTales' first big obnoxious pun.
Yeah.
I like how their
Followed by
hats
we're
kinda get-
Vikings, the sharers of the sea.
Yeah, that's right. I like the way their hats kind of get bigger as they jump. They kind of expand and
Mhm.
squish. Or maybe they just look bigger. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I like
Okay,
how
I
the
can't wait for
card-
the silly song. Where's the silly song? Oh boy, it's the...
Huh?
The back of the tape said, "Oh, where's my razor?" That's not what this is. I like the Grapes car also. I like how it didn't drive straight. I like the little pictures too. They're very simple, but I like them.
Forgive-O-Matic is fun. I like it.
Sorry, I keep having to mute to cough. That poor teddy bear. That was really bad. Also, his voice, it's a little bit different than it was in the first episode, and different than it is currently, or, you know, in more recent VeggieTales.
Well, in more recent VeggieTales, he's like, "Oh, I love the smell of cookies in the morning."
True, but that doesn't count. That's, Joe Zeta Tales. No hate to Joe Zeta, of course.
We love you, Joe.
You're very
Go on
talented.
Finn's podcast. He'll revive it for you. I promise.
I would love to talk to him. He is very talented. Also, I like the scissors.
That guy
They
is
look-
under 18. That guy is under 18. Can you believe it? He's a minor.
And he's from West Virginia.
Whoa.
West Virginia is a
He
freaky
can marry
place.
his cousin. And Finn knows Freaky.
I do know Freaky. I was born in West Virginia. It's
That's right. I forgot about that.
Freaky level 10.
And Finn knows Freaky.
I do. I tend to be a little freaky. Now, what's that behind Scallion 1? It looked like a building?
Was
Did you
it?
see that? It was like a little building in the background. Something with a wall and windows. You can't be forgiven without a Forgive-O-Matic. I like how the floor just...
It's making me up and down. I'm getting sick.
I don't know, opened up.
Yeah.
The way the knife lands on the spinny thing and keeps spinning is kind of a fun element.
Junior looks even more cute than usual here.
He does. And Scallion 1 looks somehow more sleazy than normal.
Yeah.
I think it's the salesman outfit.
Mhm. They really perfected the art of salesman outfits in Madame Blueberry.
They did, yeah. This is like a whimsical salesman,
Mm-hmm.
like a circus salesman. Geo Forgive-O-Matic.
I really like that gag.
Me too. He said
Isn't
Geo
that
Forgive-O-Matic,
cute?
right? Geo.
Chia.
Chia. Oh, Chia Forgive-O-Matic.
Duh. Man.
I thought he said Geo. Like, I don't know why I thought he said Geo.
It's Chia, like Chia Pets.
Chia Forgive-O-Matic. I love that. I feel like
Y'all
Dude,
heard
I
Finn
don't
get
know,
the
I
joke
thought-
for the first time.
no. Well, I guess so because I don't know. I thought he said Geo Forgive-O-Matic. Like, I've heard of people talk about. I don't know. It felt right for some reason. Geo, like,
Have you ever had a Chia Pet? Do you know what they
yeah.
are?
I have a SpongeBob Chia Pet, but it's in
I
a
have a
box.
Weird Al Chia Pet. I have two.
No way.
Yeah.
In the box.
Yeah.
I left mine sealed, and I feel bad because like the Chia just sits in there and doesn't grow.
One is sealed, one isn't. But they're both
I
in the
have-
box.
I have one sealed, and I have one of the little toys, not the toy, the pot itself without the chia seeds.
Oh, nice.
Also, if I sound kind of marble mouthed, I have cough drops in right now.
And weren't there 5 passengers who booked that day on our 3-hour?
Nothing like a marble mouthed commentator.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of jumping.
When are we gonna get a YTP MV of this with I'm in Love with the Skipper by Weird Al?
I don't think I've heard that.
It was never put on an
Also,
album. It was
Kev,
only
the
done in
term-
concert.
The term is AMV, not YTP.
Oh wait, yeah.
Anime music video. Archibald's teeth. Look at that.
Yeah.
I miss his
Weird.
teeth. The?
Um,
The?
Al also
Me?
had he had 2 songs about Gilligan's Island. There was that one, which I don't think he was granted permission for it, so he only did it live. And then he also did a parody of Wild Thing called Isle Thing.
Wait, there are songs that he performed live and didn't like publish, like on
Yeah,
soundtracks
yeah.
and stuff.
There
Wow.
were quite a few.
Wow.
There was that one.
That's too
There was
bad.
a parody of "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion, and it was called "Free Delivery." It went, "Your heartburn will go on."
Oh. Why was it called Free Delivery?
It's about pizza
Oh.
delivery.
Oh, it's funny. Weird Al, he only writes about food. It's all food.
That's right.
The food song guy.
The most famous
Nothing
case
that is.
actually is
Except.
have you ever heard the song "You're Beautiful" by James Blunt?
Sing it. Sing
You're
it.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, I've heard
You're
that one.
beautiful. It's true.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
definitely
Weird
heard
Al
that.
did "You're Pitiful," and he was given permission, and then James Blunt's record label said, "Nope, we're not gonna let you do that."
Well, he
And
should have
so
done it
Al
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, James was cool with it,
It's a parody.
but right. But yeah, Al wanted to respect the record label's permission, respect their wishes.
I don't
So,
think I would have, to be honest. If the person who wrote the song was comfortable with it.
Well, he got back at them though. He did
How?
get back at them.
How?
He would perform it live, and you know how in the music video James Blunt starts out with like all these different layers, and he keeps taking the layers off.
I haven't seen the video.
Oh, okay, well, on stage, Al goes on and like he's got tons of layers of clothes on, and he keeps taking them off, and the final layer is a T-shirt that says "Atlantic Records sucks."
I love that.
And in the White and Nerdy music video, when he's editing Wikipedia, he's editing the page for Atlantic Records, and it says in huge bold font, "Atlantic Records sucks."
Dang. He wasn't bitter.
And so many fans of his ended up editing the Atlantic Records page with that Wikipedia locked the article so nobody else could edit it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Also, the scene where they're screaming and their pupils dilate, I would say that's a pretty iconic scene in VeggieTales.
It is, yeah.
When they kind of lean in and scream. I want a t-shirt with that frame of Bob and Larry screaming.
That would go hard.
That would
go pretty hard. That
The
would
eye
slap,
shapes
as the kids say.
that would slap yacht. The eye shapes are interesting. The way one eye can get so, angry looking while the other one stays upright. I don't think they did that as the show went on.
Not
You know
really.
what I'm saying?
No.
Like how one eye would get really mad looking and the other would kind of stay up.
Yeah.
Like one eye would move, I guess, and the other wouldn't. Yeah, they kind of quit doing
Right.
that. They were still pretty mad at Larry.
Kind of like the trademark Uncle Kev arched eyebrow look.
Correct. The smexy you look, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
That's
this,
every look I have.
maybe
though.
this isn't so bad after all. Not so bad? What do you mean, not so bad? I like how his eyes are like moving with his mouth.
Bob, move, Bob, move. He's paralyzed.
At least his eyes are moving.
Yeah.
I think as the show went on, they kind of learned how to animate, This looks good. It's better than I can do. It feels natural. It's not off-putting to me.
Why is his hat moving with him? That's what I'm wondering.
His hat shouldn't be falling
Is it
off.
glued to his head?
It might be. No, something about this though. I don't know. Something about this doesn't. It holds
He glued
up.
it to his head, then he had to rip it off, and his leaves came off, and he had to wait for them to grow back so he could finish the episode.
And that's why he got better looking leaves in the 2000s. Everything else in the 90s was filmed before this.
Mhm.
Technically, his new leaves were in like 98 or 99, but you didn't get to see them.
Yeah.
They were just on like renders and promotional art, maybe like
Right.
1 or 2 pieces. Bye bye, Larry.
Bye bye, Larry.
Bob fell asleep pretty fast.
Yeah.
To not hear Larry bashing on himself and walk away. Now, what would Bob have said, you think, had he heard Larry?
don't know. That's what I was wondering.
He would have said, "Hi,
Has
I'm
anyone
Bob,"
seen Larry?
and
Say something?
yeah, that's what he would have said.
Hi, I'm Bob, and yeah. Do you think that would have helped Larry?
Oh, you remember?
Probably so. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode would have ended kind of early.
I mean, wouldn't it help you?
Yeah, probably would.
What would you do if you were in that situation?
Better hold that thought.
Have you
Time for the morning milk delivery.
Time for the morning poof delivery.
the London George podcast went hard.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I love that video.
Whose channel was that on again? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I wish they were still active.
when I woke up this morning,
And hey, we
I got
we
it.
just released our own knockoff of that.
We can build a giant
Kind of.
to fling us back
It's a
home.
different thing.
Friend's
Theirs
channel.
was
This working model.
sentence splicing and stuff.
Then someone
Yeah,
can
yeah.
say,
I'm kidding.
Bob, for example,
I like
am
how,
I?
now just
or
pull
are
the
you?
cord
Stay
and-
tuned. I like how stupid Archibald was in that scene for no reason.
Yeah.
And Lovey too. I guess both of them were kind of dumb. They're a bumbling couple.
Got into our house. You bonked me
On the head with a coconut. He's so
I
shocked.
did not mean to do that.
I like how he looks at
So
us
sorry.
when he says, "I did not mean to do that." Like
Yeah.
he's assuring the audience that he did not mean to do that.
Accident, and you did say you were sorry.
For the
so
kids out there who
you're
got
easy.
offended.
Makes direct eye
I'm
contact.
really sorry about your house. I'd be glad to help you.
Also, the movements got more subtle as time went on. I think that's the biggest
Uh-huh.
thing I'm noticing. Is they're very abrupt.
So we'll forgive you. Oh, thanks.
If you can get what I'm saying.
If you can believe it.
If you can believe it.
Yes,
No, but like the
sir.
way he nodded his head, his entire body moved. When
Yeah.
Bob nods his head, when he nods his head, his entire body moves. I feel
Like-
like as time went on, they got
like the
much
GIF.
more.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
The iconic GIF.
Definitely.
Exactly. As time.
Everybody knows the GIF,
Well,
even if they don't know Bob.
Larry said he
Oh,
was
yeah.
sorry for smashing the boat.
And that was just an accident too.
Dad's voice got so gentle for a second.
Or when you
Yeah.
fell through their roof.
And we wouldn't forgive Larry at all. The zoom in on his eyes, disconnected from his nose, was nice. Look at Larry's reflection in the water. Look how big his tooth is. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you notice?
Not really, no.
The reflection of him in the water, his tooth was ginormous.
Huh.
Like his whole mouth was basically white. His tooth,
Odd.
his tooth had a point there, didn't it?
Did it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
For a second, it looked like it. Also, I love how Bob moves when he says everybody.
Yeah.
We'll go back in the end and look.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how it kind of looks like it's reaching a point in the middle?
Right.
Do you
Huh.
see that? Do you see that?
Yeah. You're right.
It's not like a...
Bob just got huge for a second there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I love when he just expands and then goes back to normal
Yeah.
size again.
He should
Also-
have pulled a theme song and turned into Strawberry Bob again.
Have we got a song for you?
Yeah.
His eyes are disconnected
His
from his
eyes,
nose a lot
yeah.
in this
That's
sequence.
so weird.
I really like Palm. I really like Palmy. I really
That guy
like
follows
Palmy's.
me on Instagram.
Yo,
Jeff
I'm like
Morrow.
jealous. Scooter Jim Poole follows my YouTube channel.
Oh, yo, really?
Yeah, he subscribed to me.
That's insane.
I found his channel and subscribed to him, and he commented on one of my videos and was like, "Hey, good detective work. You have a new subscriber." And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Nice. That's so cool.
I know I told you that,
I don't think so.
but I want to get Palmy to follow me.
Yeah.
What's his Instagram account? Palmy?
Hey,
It-
have you seen the professor? Nope.
Yeah. Let me look it up.
You'll have to send it to me.
I think it's just like Jeff Morrow voice or something like that.
Oh, I'll look for him. I like Dad's goggles. Very
Yeah,
hot.
Jeff Mara voice.
Also, the fact that he just disappeared and then came back with that helicopter. When was he building it? He told no one. He
Hey, it's a
disappears for a
helicopter.
second. A hecacopter. You're right. My bad.
We don't cuss on here.
He disappears for like a second. Imagine you're in the back of that helicopter, and you turn around. Who's that short asparagus in the back? Oh, that's Dad. Never mind. He's sitting down. That confused me. I had that backwards in my head. You can tell I'm a little off today. But Dad, asparagus, imagine you get in that helicopter. He turns around with his goggles and smiles at you like that. I'd feel secure. I'd feel secure. What I was saying about Palmy, I like how he bounces and how he, you know how they squish? He doesn't squish in one place. The squish is equally distributed, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
The way he, you know, does the squash and stretch, he squashes
Right.
evenly. It doesn't all squash into one place.
Helicopter.
Bamboo. One more time.
Bamboo.
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 Just like me. Someone's like, that joke's not funny, and I'm like, one more time. There it is. There it is. The GIF.
Baby, one more time.
The GIF.
Bamboo, bamboo,
That
bamboo.
part used to kill me. That was like the funniest thing ever.
Well, how are you here then if it killed you?
Well, it used to kill me.
Okay, so you got better.
I got better. Yeah. I
That's
healed.
good.
She died. That's terrible. Will she get better? Maybe. And about bamboo.
And about
Can't let-
bamboo.
He can't let it go. He can't
I
let it
mean,
go.
would you?
Probably not.
Let it go.
So did
Let it
Larry's
go.
Lagoon actually happen?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, they were talking about it on the countertop as if it actually happened.
Why was Archibald the who was he? What did they call him?
Bamboo.
What did they call him? The don't tell me. Dad was the professor.
Mhm.
Archie was the millionaire. He was the millionaire.
Yes.
Why did they call him the millionaire? Is Archie actually a millionaire canonically? Is Dad
I mean,
really that crafty?
In the house, he's the mayor, so he might be.
And Dad's that crafty where he can make a bamboo helicopter?
That asparagus can do anything he wants.
True. I don't know. I can't decide if it's canonical to the series. Like I said, I guess VeggieTales doesn't really have a canon.
Yeah.
Somehow multiple things can be true at once in VeggieTales.
Well, maybe
Like
it's,
Jimmy
maybe
is
it's a
both-
retelling. Maybe it's a retelling, and Archie, Lovey, and Dad are playing these three strangers.
Possibly, yeah. But I don't know. It's less fun if you imagine Bob and Larry got stranded with three strangers, you know? It's more
Yeah.
fun to think it was people that we all know and love. I don't know. I mean, Jimmy is Jim Gordley and Superhero and himself, apparently.
Right.
Petunia's Reporter Petunia and Vogue. VeggieTales, somehow multiple things can just be true at once, you know?
Yeah.
I guess everything happened.
Hey, Pop. Hey, Pop.
Apop, they travel into
Wonder.
different portals and live different lives. I don't know. Goodbye.
Bye. Bamboo.
Bamboo! Bamboo!